Okay, do some shuffles and then we'll go into the introduction. Okay. So, hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my channel and this live stream. Just to let you know, this is for the earth signs and we'll be looking at the key general messages that are coming through at this time, particularly for Friday the 15th of May, all the way to the end of the month, okay? So these are just general messages. This can apply in regards to your sun, moon, and rising signs. So do take a look at your placements and see which one you feel will resonate for you most at this time, and you can check actually all three placements if you want. So just to let you know, I will be pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot, okay? And I'll be pulling 4 cards, okay? Just getting the key energies, no clarifications in regards to what it is that you need to know at this time, what it is that you need to release, what it is that you need to be cautious of, and what it is that you should be grateful for as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the first sign. So as we're looking at the earth signs, I will first pull the reading for the sign of Taurus. So Taurus, let's see what's going on with you at this time. So what is it that Taurus needs to be aware of? Okay. And then secondly, what is it that Taurus needs to release? What does Taurus need to be cautious of? And finally, what should Taurus be grateful for at this time? All right, so that was very quick, very clear for you guys. All right, so I'm going to now move the camera down so you can see the cards. Okay. There you go. All right. So in regards to the first card here, you have the 4 of Swords. Okay, so this is air energy, talking Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So what's being communicated here in regards to what it is that you need to know is that you are still going through a healing process. Okay, that you're going to be tender in some ways. Okay, you're still going through a process where you're changing old habits. I feel like old habits are dying hard, right? And that your thought processes are changing. The way you view things is changing, right? As a result of this healing that's going on. So just be aware that, you may have good days and you may have bad days, all right? And that's fine. So just go with it. Understand that that's normal. It's part of the process, okay? Healing is not a linear journey. It can take all sort of forms, all right? So just be delicate with yourself at this time while you're going through that healing process, all right? So in regards to what it is you need to release at this time, you have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is your energy, okay, as well as Virgo and Capricorn, okay, because it's earth energy. So what's being discussed here, essentially, I feel, is that you need to stop going between two extremes in your mind, okay? Because while you're going to be having a bit of a rocky road, you're going to be very up and down at certain points while you're going through this, period of respite, of recuperation while you're healing. You have to be very much aware of your energy, okay, and what you gravitate towards, because that's going to impact you further, right? So if you're kind of getting into a negative mindset and you look at things that make you feel bad, or if you communicate with people that bring you down, that's not going to help you in this process, right? So it's just being aware of where you place your time and energy, right? Because it's going to have effects overall in regards to how you feel about yourself, how you view things. And it's really important at this time that you feed your mind, your spirit, your heart space, positive things that are going to uplift you, inspire you, okay, while you're going through this transformation, this healing, okay, because the way you perceive things is changing, the way you're communicating, the way your thought process is changing. So it's really important that you feed your mind, your spirit, and your heart what is nourishing, what's going to help you grow, what's going to help you mature, right? So that's really, really important. So in regards to what you need to be cautious of at this time, you have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So this is fire energy, okay? So we're talking Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You could be dealing with any of those signs, but either way, I feel like what you're being told to be aware of, to be cautious of, what the warning could be in relation to this is a tendency to not stand your ground when it's the time to do so, okay? Not to necessarily fight, to get into conflict or competition. It's not that energy at all, but just being aware that there are times to stay quiet and composed, and there's times to speak up, speak your truth, okay? Because sometimes if we don't do that, people think it's okay to, behave in certain ways, communicate certain things, do things that they know is unfair, but simply because they feel they can get away with it, right? Or simply because they want to test the waters to see where the boundary is, right? So it's important that you assert yourself, all right? You don't have to be confrontational. You certainly don't want to be argumentative, but it's okay to assert your position when it's necessary, okay? Because people are going to assume that if you don't do that, that you're a pushover, right? And you're not a pushover by any means, okay? So you have to know when to stand your ground and when to just be, essentially, okay? But I feel like for some of you, you may not be standing your ground enough, or you might not be communicating something that needs to be said, right? Something that could be bothering you, or something that you know to be an unfair situation, right? And then in regards to what you should be grateful for at this time, you have the 4 of Wands, more fire energy. But this is beautiful energy, okay? This is soul alignment. This is powerful soul connections, right? So this is really beautiful energy for you, Taurus, and I love that you got this. This means that you're standing on your own 2 feet and you're feeling good about it. So like I said, maybe this is something you're already starting to do, right? You're starting to vocalize what you truly want and how you feel. Okay, so maybe there's something that you were holding back on that you're starting to express, particularly if it's in regards to a connection, right? Maybe you're starting to let the other person know your true feelings, right? And perhaps that this person seeing you stand up for yourself, inspiring you to stand up for yourself, and seeing you step into your power is really inspiring them to do the same, right? Perhaps they're mirroring you, so seeing you get into this space of healing, of growing, of nurturing, that's inspiring them to do the same, right? And perhaps you're supporting one another in that journey. Or perhaps, you are getting to a place where you're ready to take your connection to the next level. Perhaps you're looking at marriage. Perhaps you're looking to be engaged, right? Perhaps you're looking for a soul level connection if you don't feel like you currently have one. But I feel like if that's not the case, it's coming in very soon. Right? That there's someone you're already energetically tied to. There's someone you're already crossing paths with, if you're single, that, is going to come into manifestation. Someone you're going to meet very soon if you haven't already. Right? So it's going to play in different ways for different people. But I feel like this is you coming into alignment, and then you coming into a connection that's aligned as a result. So that's really beautiful energy. And I love that this came up for you, Taurus. It's essentially saying that you putting the work in yourself, you standing your ground, but knowing how to assert yourself in a mature and balanced way, right? Being in your power, being in alignment is drawing people into your life that are also doing the same work, okay? So that's really beautiful. I love that. I hope that helps for you if it resonated for you. All right, so I'm just gonna have a quick sip of my water. have a quick shuffle, and then we'll go into Virgo's reading, okay? It's very warm in here. I felt like, gosh, is it really hot because I'm kind of under the weather, or is it hot? But it's actually very hot today. I think it was 38 degrees or something. I didn't go outside because obviously not well, but it's really hot here at the moment. So I'm not surprised that I'm feeling it right now. So if I'm starting to look a bit like, I apologize. It's baking hot today. It's like 38 degrees, you know. But yeah, so I hope that helps you anyway, Taurus. If you missed the Taurus reading, you can rewind this video now if you're tuning in, or if you're seeing this after the fact, you know, not to worry, okay? It's on the channel, check it out. So we'll go into Virgo's reading next. I'm just going to have a quick shuffle for you. But yeah, I can see I'm getting a little bit shiny. So yeah, you're just going to have to deal with it. It's really hot. It's going to get worse as we get closer to the summer. So don't be surprised if you see me just like, just fanning myself and like just pouring water down my neck every 5 seconds. Because yeah, the summers tend to get hot here in Greece, right? So let's have a look then. Virgo. So what's going on with you guys, I wonder? So if you missed the beginning of the video, I'll be taking a look at what it is you need to know, what you need to release, what you need to be cautious of, and what you should be grateful for at this time. So this is for Friday the 15th of May 2020, all the way to the end of the month, okay? So these are the key messages and energies for now, essentially. So I didn't even get to say anything. All right, we'll pop that there then for you, Virgo. So what is it that you are releasing? I feel like you guys are very chatty today, not in terms of the chat, it's pretty dead. But yeah, in regards to the cards, I feel like the messages are coming forward like very fast, very clear, no nonsense kind of energy. But you guys are earth signs, so that's not surprising, right? You guys are very direct and you know what it's about, you know the score. All right, so let's take a look at your cards. So in relation to what it is you need to know at this time, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So this is your energy, earth energy, as well as Taurus and Capricorn. So what's essentially being communicated here is that, you know, there may be a situation where you feel like there is some sense of lack, that someone is being favored over yourself, that someone isn't nurturing a connection or that are not doing the work necessary in a physical sense, right? So I'll give you an example. So say you have a house, okay? You and your partner share a house. You bought a house or whatever. You may feel like you're the one that's paying for most of the bills. You're the one that does most of the housework, right? This is just an example. It's going to apply different ways to you, but you see where I'm getting at, right? You may feel like the load is on your shoulders, right? And things are not balanced, or that you're the one that's putting more work into a situation than those who are just as responsible for the situation, right? Just as responsible for the nurturing of this situation, right? Whether it's taking care of the household, taking care of the family, taking care of business, you know, whatever this applies to, right? I feel like you're feeling like it's on your shoulders. You're the one that's having to bear the weight, right? And you're kind of getting a bit sick of it. And what it's kind of saying here is that that is the case, right? You're feeling that this is heavy and that the weight is on your shoulders is valid because that is how it feels, okay? And that is actually the situation. It's not just how you're perceiving it, but it's actually the reality, okay? So it's not imagined. So if anyone tells you that this is imagined, that that's not the case, that you should be doing more, that's not true, okay? The confirmation is here that yes, your feeling is valid, okay? Because that is essentially the truth of the matter, right? So in regards to what you need to release at this time, you have the Five of Swords, okay? So this is air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Could be dealing with any of those signs or a fellow earth sign. Either way, I feel like what it's saying here is that there's no need to go back and forth with this person or these people. There's no need to get into a heated discussion. There's no point getting to a point where you just kind of want to give up, right? Because, you know, ramming skulls with these people is not going to help you or this person, right? And don't allow this person to trick you into thinking that what you're saying is false, that your feelings are not valid, okay? So I feel like that's coming in a little bit. So whatever this person is trying to communicate to you to make you feel like it's all in your head, disregard that, because it's not true at all. What you're feeling is valid. That's why it's come up here, right? So if you feel like things are out of balance, that, you know, you're taking the brunt of the situation, that the load is on your shoulders, you can do something about it, okay? You can cut it you need to cut it in the bud, nip it in the bud is what I mean, right? So address it head on without it becoming a huge confrontation, right? You can say, listen, this is not fair. And the way you're gaslighting me is not fair also. Therefore, we either both put our work into the situation, we all band together as a team and do the job, or, you know, I'm taking a step back. It's not up to me to fix everything, right? To be responsible for everything. It's a joint effort. It's a team effort, right? So in regards to what it is you need to be cautious of at this time, you have the Daughter of Wands, okay? So this is the Page of Wands, fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Could be dealing with any of those. Either way, what's being communicated here is that you are kind of being looked at to provide an answer, right? Because you're very practical, but you're also very, very good at looking at things from different perspectives, right? It's kind of like you can come in and you can see all the potential positive outcomes, all the potential pitfalls, and you can weigh it up and make a very informed, very clear judgment on a situation and provide a solution accordingly, right? Because you do that so easily, people may still fall back and expect you to provide an answer, even within this situation, right? Even once you communicate that you're not doing it anymore, that you're cutting ties, or that you're moving away, or that you're simply not prepared to do it anymore, and you're pulling back and forcing the people involved to do their part, don't be surprised if they still try and find some way to get you to believe or make you feel like you have to provide the answer. You have to be the one to create a solution, that you need to find a new way of doing things, a new approach, that it's somehow on your shoulders still, because there may be some manipulation going on, is what I'm feeling, okay? So don't allow people to do that to you, essentially. And then what you've got to be grateful for, this is going to seem weird, 3 of Swords, okay? So more air energy. So again, I feel like this energy is essentially saying the thing that you feel like is a hindrance, that's making you unhappy, that's disappointing, that's stressful, right, is actually a blessing in disguise, because it's allowing you to see who are standing by your side, who's supporting you, who wants to make the effort, and who's not. So you can then come to a point where you make a judgment call of who has a place in your life and who doesn't, who's willing to change and do something positive to rectify the situation and who doesn't, right? Or who just sits back on their laurels and wait for you to come up with an answer, as always, right? Or a solution. So while it's a difficult situation, while it can be upsetting, right, that they're still not hearing you, or a certain person or certain individuals are not hearing you while some others may do, it's helping you to discern, you know, who you want to be working with, who you want to be investing your time with, you know, who you want to maintain a connection with, and those who you don't, right? It's giving you the sense of clarity. So it's a blessing in disguise, right? So use that to your benefit, right? So I hope that helps, Virgo. I know it might not be the most positive reading overall, but generally it's actually going to help you in the long run. Like I said, it's providing you that clarity of who's just simply taking advantage and will continue to do so, or who's getting a wake-up call and who's actually willing to work with you, okay? So I hope that helps in some way. Okay. So tilt the camera up and have another sweet water. but it's actually getting hotter in here. I think partially because of the lights and, you know, having the laptop on as well in here. It's just so hot, it's ridiculous. Okay. Whew. So I hope you're all well. Just wanted to say that before I continue. It's really nice to have you tune in, for those of you who have been dropping by, so thank you. I hope that, you know, things are a little bit colder where you are, you know, that you're getting some good weather, but it's not, you know, frigging roasting, so you can breathe. I just had the chariot come up, which is interesting, with the sun behind it. That's how I feel. I feel like this horse rushing to get some water and some air with the sun baking behind me. And I am a Cancer, so that's my card. So I feel like that's me right now, just looking for water and shelter from the heat. But anyway, moving on. So the final sign we'll look at for the earth signs is, of course, Capricorn. So if we have any fellow Capricorns watching, this is for you guys, okay? So if you didn't see earlier, we'll be looking at what it is that you need to know, what it is you need to release, what you need to be cautious of, and what you need to be grateful for, or what you should be grateful for. Okay, so these are just the 4 key energies that we'll be looking at for the sign of Capricorn next. So let's have a look. So what is it that you need to know? What is it that's being released? What is it that you need to be cautious of? And finally, what do you need to be, or what should you be grateful for? Okay, nice. So let's have a look for you now. Okay. So the first card we got in relation to what it is you need to know, you have the Sun of Pentacles, okay? So this is your energy, okay, as well as Virgo and Taurus. So this is the Knight of Pentacles, essentially. So what you need to know is that progress takes time, that each step is as valid as the next, okay? That it's not a race, that it's okay to do things at your pace, in your own time, essentially, okay? That the direction you're going in and the pace you're going in is what feels right for you, what feels comfortable for you. It feels like it's a step, you're taking steps in the right direction, but it's slow, it's methodical, but each step is, you know, has been thought through, essentially. And that's fine. You don't have to go at anyone else's pace, right? You go at the pace that feels right for yourself and your circumstances. So if anyone is trying to rush you forward, particularly seeing the Knight of Wands here, just disregard that, okay? Go at the pace that feels right for you and your circumstances, all right? So in regards to what it is you need to release, you have the, like I said, the Knight of Wands in reverse, okay? The Sun of Wands in reverse. So this is fire energy. So you could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Either way, I feel like what you need to release is anything or anyone that makes you feel like it's a competition, it's a race, that you need to be there, you know, full guns blazing, that you need to reach the finish line as quickly as possible, that you need to live your life, you know, with certain set paths in mind, that you need to approach life in a certain way, that if you don't do this, that, and the other in this time frame, you're not successful, right? Or anyone that tries to push your boundaries, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, release all of that, okay? Because you are doing what's right for you. You're taking things at your pace, right? So anything that makes you feel rushed, anything that makes you feel like you're having to go full steam ahead or feel like it's too fast too soon, release it, okay? Because that's not healthy for you. You need to go at a pace that feels comfortable, and that just feels right for your particular path. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, okay? If they're going at a pace that works for them, if they're going in a direction that works for them, that's fine. But that doesn't mean it necessarily works for you, okay? So anything or anyone that tries to rush you or force you down a certain path needs to be pretty much removed, or at least, you know, you need to put them in their place, okay? because it's your life. You approach it how you feel is best for you and at your pace, right? So in regards to what you need to be cautious of at this time, you have the Eight of Pentacles here. So this is more earth energy, your energy, okay? So what this is talking about is, knowing that you are building, that your energy is being put into use, okay? That it's a process, that you have to take it step by step, that you're not necessarily going to see the big picture, right? That you're not going to see the outcome, the goal, you're not going to see the victory, right? Straight away, okay? It's a process. You have to be willing to put the work in and know that you're carefully crafting this new life for yourself, or this path, or this career, or whatever it is that you're investing your time and energy into in regards to self-mastery, right? But what you need to be cautious of as well is that you don't become too complacent, right? That you don't get to a certain point and then you just pause, right? That you keep moving, right? It doesn't matter if you move slower than others. It doesn't matter if it takes you longer, right? The point is that you keep building and you keep moving. So that's what you need to be aware of, that you may have a slight tendency to procrastinate, right? Where at times you need to put your foot on the gas a little bit. Not that you need to rush, but that you need to keep moving, okay? So as long as you keep the energy flowing, you keep moving, even if it's at a slow pace, that's fine. And even if you do feel like there's a time where you need to pause, that's fine. Pause, but don't stop, right? And then in regards to what you should be grateful for, you have the Daughter of Swords, okay? So this is the Page of Swords. This is in regards to the air signs. We're looking at Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Could be dealing with any of those signs. Either way, I feel like what you have to be grateful for is that there are those who acknowledge what you're doing, okay? That you have a support system in place, or you have someone at least that supports you, that sees what you're trying to do. And maybe they even give you like a little bit of a kick up the bum when it's necessary, okay? While I said whoever represents this energy, right? Like I'll put in the upper, whoever represents this energy, where they're trying to rush you, where they're trying to force you down a path because they took this path and it worked for them, release them. That's no good, okay? But anyone that's trying to support you and just give you a little gentle nudge when there's times when you do become complacent and you don't move forward and you just kind of sit on your laurels, they're actually very beneficial for you, because sometimes you do need that little nudge, right? That little encouragement to keep moving. So it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter that you go at your own pace, that you go slow, okay? And it doesn't have to necessarily be slow, but at a slower pace than those necessarily around you, or what people tell you to go at, right? It doesn't matter on what pace you're going, as long as you keep moving forward. But I feel like there is someone in your line of field, someone close to you, that does recognize and acknowledge what it is that you're doing, right? And they're very supportive, and they may even be actively taking some kind of they may be participating in whatever you're doing in some way, supporting you in some way, right? Encouragement, even if it's just, talking with you about what it is you're trying to accomplish, giving their insight, giving their input, or just even having an interest in what it is that you're trying to accomplish is very important, and not to be dismissed, right? Because that's going to help encourage you to move forward. That's going to help support you. That's going to make you feel like you can do it, that it's worth doing, right? That encouragement is really important. So definitely worth being grateful for sure, right? Everyone needs that support, right? Especially in the beginning of something. So yeah, definitely not worth overlooking, right? So Capricorn, I hope that helps. The key takeaway here is that you're going at your pace. You're doing everything you need to do. Yes, there may be at times this kind of tendency to get a little bit complacent and wanting to stand still, not wanting to keep moving forward. But you have someone or a series of people in your life that are very supportive, that give you that little nudge when you need it. But there may be someone around you that's kind of trying to force you down their way of thinking, their path, trying to get you to go at a pace that you don't feel comfortable with. So just address that directly. Keep moving at your pace, but as long as you keep moving, or just have a pause when you need to, but not stop, and you'll be all good, right? So I hope that helps for those of you that message resonated for. And as I was saying, for those of you who may be tuned into the other elements videos, it's okay if this message doesn't resonate for you. You can look at these readings in regards to your sun, moon, and rising signs, okay? So maybe one of those placements will resonate best for you, all right? If none of them resonates, then I'm sorry, it just wasn't your message this time, because you got to remember, there is a lot of us, okay? So I'm going to be tapping into different people at different times. So no worries there, okay? If you missed those readings for any of the signs, feel free to go back and rewind. You can actually rewind if you're on this now. Otherwise, the video will go up so you can watch this after the fact, okay? So anyway, just to say thank you for those of you who tuned in. It was nice to speak to you, nice to be able to offer these general messages for this time. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, because I'll have readings going up very regularly now. This is something that I'm investing more time into now that I'm able to do so. And it would just be nice to see you as part of the community here. So do subscribe, do drop a like if you found this useful. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like this format, if you just want to see myself, if you just want to see the cards, let me know, because this is kind of a little bit of an experiment. So until I know what works best for yourself and for me, we're just going to mix it up. And then once I know and I have an idea of what, you guys generally prefer, then I'll do it in relation to that, okay? Because it's for you, okay? So have a nice evening if it's evening. If it's morning, have a nice morning. If it's daytime, enjoy your day. Have a great Friday. And I will speak to you soon. So bye.